Hello, once again, everybody. And on behalf of the All-Star Football Officials Association Training Committee, I'd like to welcome you to Week 7. Wow, Week 7 of the 2020 season. It's happening fast. It's passing us by pretty quick, but everybody's got some good work in. We're starting to hit the home stretch, so guys, keep working hard. This week, just want to talk about a couple things. First being passing plays that has to do with eligibles and offense blocking downfield on pass plays. Talking about the pass, whether it crosses the neutral zone or not. You see a clip on that. You also see a clip. We're going to talk about goal line mechanics specific to a play where we have, maybe 4th and goal at the 1 or 2 yard line or something like that. We've got a big pile. We've got 10 guys on the defense in the box. We've got a big pile, and we've got to crash in and make a ruling. Whether we had the runner in or out of the end zone. And final little video, it'll be a fun one to talk about, and that is on punt plays, the status of the ball as it pertains to crossing the neutral zone, kick ball crossing the neutral zone, and what K can do with it if they possess a ball that has not crossed the neutral zone on a kick. But first thing, real quick, I want to talk about a situation we've kind of had in the game last week, and that is, what do we do if if the field is not ready for play when we're ready to start either the first half or second half? So meaning they're doing some ceremony at halftime, and 20 minutes is up and they're still on the field and they won't clear the field. So what do we do there? Well, the rule book, if you go to 374. So Rule 374 states a game management is responsible for clearing the field of play and the end zones at the beginning of each half so that play may begin at scheduled time. So 20 minutes are gone, we're ready to play, put 12 there, ready to go, and the field's not clear. What happens? Well, that rule right there basically states it's a delay of game. So we'll flag them, 5-yard delay of game. And might not like it, but that's part of it. The game, that's a game management issue. They've got to have that ready to go. Now that's separate from the issue of if a team doesn't come out in time, let's say following the second half, it's mandatory that they be out there for that 3-minute warm-up period. If they're not out there, or if those 20 minutes plus the 3 wind down and they're not ready to play. Now that's a totally separate issue, and that falls under Rule 9, Section 8, and that's Part G. So for failure for a team to be ready on the field following conclusion, halftime, intermission, or be ready to start the second half at the conclusion of the mandatory warm-up period, that is a 15-yard penalty, and that's going to go against the head coach. So it's just a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty against the head coach. So please don't get those two confused. Again, one's a game management issue, it's a 5-yard delay. The other is a coach having his team ready to play issue, and that's an unsportsmanlike. So go check those rules out if you want more clarification. But for now, we'll just go ahead and dive into these couple plays. All right, what I want to talk about this play, we're going to have I think design was to be a little quick screen over here. But you'll see as it breaks down, the quarterbacks, he'll take the snap, kind of look at throw, and then he'll drop the ball, pick it up, scramble around. What you're going to end up with is he's going to dump the ball to this receiver, this running back right here who's kind of running around. But what I want you to notice in this play is a couple things. I want you to notice linemen. So I want you to check out and see where the linemen are on this play, and I want you to watch this receiver right here and kind of watch his action during the play, and then we'll talk from there. Are the linemen downfield, is that legal? Is the block by this receiver legal because of the forward pass and where it's caught and everything else? So we'll dive into that a little bit. But as we let this play out, you'll see right here, drop. It's supposed to be a little quick screen to him. He runs around, and we throw a forward pass to this receiver. Well, actually, it was that running back who come out and kind of scramble around. So as you see, we've got a lot going on here. So Do we have a forward pass? Yes. This is obviously forward. So again, in order to have ineligibles downfield during the pass, this pass has to be behind the line of scrimmage, right? So as an umpire, as wing guys, again, it took a long time to develop. So at some point, you just need to make a note and say, all right, there's a lot going on, but I've got, at the very least, I've got this lineman down here. So I've got an ineligible downfield right here. And again, we're not throwing a flag now because we don't know what's going to happen. If he gets tackled right here, nothing. We don't want to just throw flags all over the place when this is would be a two-part foul. It takes something else to make this illegal, and that something else would be a forward pass that crosses the neutral zone right here. So when you see it, umpire, headlines, and line judge, you just make a mental note. All right, I've got an ineligible downfield, and where he's at by the time he throws it doesn't matter. Once he's downfield, he's always been downfield. So the foul. The foul would have occurred the time he was too far downfield, regardless of where he is when this quarterback releases the pass. So as we roll out here, and again, you see this receiver down here is also blocking. So this key, this is the field judge key down here. So what he's going to see right here is just blocking. He needs to take note of that too, and say, all right, well, I've got this receiver, and he could probably tell that he's past line of scrimmage down here. So he's clearly downfield blocking. So he needs to make a note of that too. Say, all right, I've got a block down here. Depending on what happens during the play, this could be illegal. So he'll take note of that. As this play winds out, again, we've got a forward pass, so that's part of the equation. And the pass itself right there at the line of scrimmage. So it's not beyond it. It might be right there at it, but it's definitely not beyond it. So in this case, we don't have anything. Now, that's going to be close. So if the umpire saw him down here, he may not know. All he knows is he saw an ineligible receiver too far downfield, so he may drop his flag right here, and that's fine because this looks like it's pretty close. It's not like it's 5 yards back here, and it's pretty obvious to everybody that pass was behind the line of scrimmage. So he may not know, so he may drop his flag. This field judge over here may throw. He saw this, and now he sees a pass that's pretty close to where the line of scrimmage is. So he may go ahead and throw on this, thinking he's got offensive pass interference. And that's fine. If they do, they do. Again, they don't know. They don't need to stop officiating the play in front of them to look down here and see if, try to measure out where that ball is and try and figure it out or look for signals from the head linesman or line judge. If you think you got it and it could be a foul, again, go ahead and throw on it. If you saw it, same thing here with the umpire. So the discussion that would need to happen in this case is let's say the ball, he catches it right here and we've got flags. So got fouls. These guys need to get together and say, yes, it is a foul because that pass was beyond the line of scrimmage. When the pass was touched by offense beyond the line of scrimmage, we've got ineligible here, and we've got offensive pass interference right here. But we've got to get together and make that determination. But if we decide we have flags on the ground, we come in and say, no, this head linesman and this line judge, you have to know. That's the biggest thing. Anytime you see a breakdown like this, you should be anticipating it. And if it gets close right here, you need to say in your mind, all right, that's behind the line of scrimmage. Say it to yourself, that pass is behind the line of scrimmage. So if we've got flags flying all over the place for different fouls, we can come in and go, no, I know it's right in front of me. This coach is probably in his ear, I'm guessing, at some point going to be complaining about this block and say it was offensive pass interference. He also may be complaining that they've got players down here, but you just need to know, come in and say, no, coach, that ball was not beyond the line of scrimmage, therefore we cannot have a foul. And that's pretty easy to explain to the coach. He can argue with you about it, but if you know for sure, you just got to make that middle note and tell yourself that pass was behind the line of scrimmage. That way we can come in, communicate as a crew. If we have a flag, we can pick it up. If we don't, we're good too, and we can still explain that to a coach. But again, just know the rules when it comes to that. As far as as far as offense blocking downfield during forward pass plays and ineligible being downfield, just remember that ball has got to cross the line of scrimmage in order for that to become a foul. Okay, on this play right here, I want to talk about kind of a pretty specific goal line play, and everybody knows what we're talking about. We get them every now and then where we've got something in goal at the 1, 2, 3, somewhere around there. We've got everybody here. Defense has, 10 in the box, whatever it is. They got a ton of people up here. So we've got a lot going on. So either way, when we snap the ball, running back, fullback, quarterback, somebody's going to try to get this line, and we're running into a brick wall, and we're trying to move the pile. So how do we officiate this play? So first off, we got goal line mechanics, right? We're snapping at the, it looks like the 2, 1.5, somewhere around there. So anyway, we're snapping from there. First things first, the head linesman and line judge are going to get to the goal line right at the snap. So first thing they're going to do is get to the goal line. Now, from then on, they're going to get there, and they need to focus in on, again, they need to be ready for anything. I mean, this could be a fake handoff, and we throw a fade down here. So be ready for anything at this point. But in this event, or in this case, you're going to see running back's going to get the ball, and he's going to go into a huge pile up right here in the middle, and it's going to be pretty close. So what do we need to do when we have that? First off, biggest thing is get locked in, get focused, but also be patient. We above all, we want to make sure we get this play right. Whether he's in, whether he's out, whether his knees down short, he fumbles. They do some RPO. Looks like the running back has it, and the quarterback actually, he's running out here. He has the ball and he's coming out this way. And last thing we want to do if that happens is ball be on the ground or something, and we're charging in, signaling touchdown or short, and the ball's loose on the ground. So first thing first, there's a lot going on. You're going to want to rush to make something happen here, but just be patient. Be patient. Get where you need to be, and let's see it. So this case, we'll let it play out a little bit. There we go. We got a huge pile up right here. So I believe at this point his progress is pretty much stopped. We've got on the goal line, that's a good job. So his progress pretty much stopped. So now as officials, we need to decide if we've got a good look at it, what do we have? But either way, we need to sell this. So there's no reason to hang out back here. His crew actually does a pretty good job. Your line judge down here is going to come in and bust it pretty hard. But you'll see. But the point we want to talk about here is what do we do here, and that depends. Depends on what we got. So if this, let's say this line judge right here clearly sees him in the end zone. He looked in, he saw him. He's got a clear view. In this case, I don't think he does, but let's say he's got a clear view. He saw him in. No balls in his possession, no fumble, any of that crazy stuff going on. He's got him in. Well, in this case, he needs to bust in pretty hard, signal touchdown, bust in, because, again, we've got, not only do we need to officiate the play, but we also need to be good dead ball officials as well. So bust in, sell it. That's the biggest thing here is to sell it. If you got a touchdown, signal touchdown and sell it. If you've got him short, you've got him at the 1 yard line, the 1 foot line, throw your hand up, kill the ball, come in hard, get you a spot. If you don't know, then don't do anything. And when I say don't do anything, I mean don't signal. Don't signal touchdown. Don't signal him short. But just bust in. If you don't have anything, go ahead and just bust in, run in the play. We know the play's over. We've got progress. We see it's in his possession, and he's moving backwards. So the play, and for all intents, is over because we've got 4 progress stops. So if we don't know whether we've got a touchdown or in, then don't signal anything. Just bust in. Just bust in hard. Run down the line right here. Same thing on this side. If we don't know, both you guys come in real hard. Kind of meet up in the middle, figure out what you got, how you got him in. No, I couldn't see it. Well, I had him short. So then you go ahead and put your hand up. Or, I don't know. And a lot of times, maybe his progress wouldn't stop, but we end up in a pile on the ground. Was he in? I don't know. Pile kind of leans up, and you can see that he's clearly, he's in the end zone. He's 2 or 3 yards in the end zone, but he got caught up in the traffic here, and you can't see him. So, again, if you don't know and you're not sure, then don't do anything. But in a situation like this, if you are sure, go ahead, bust in here real hard and signal. But biggest thing is communication. We don't want missed signals, so we don't want we don't want one guy coming in signaling, hey, I got him short, and another guy over here guessing, thinks he's got a touchdown. He's not sure. He didn't really see it, but he signals touchdown after the fact. So got to have good communication here. And the longer crews work together, the better they get at this of being able to tell. So again, same thing. It's the same kind of concept on a fumble. In a fumble, we don't know what's going on in the pile. So we've got officials busting in. We've got somebody digging. We've got officials coming in here and trying to figure it all out. So it's the same thing. Again, take your time. If you don't know what it is, come in, communicate, and figure it out that way. That way we're not having to change the signal. We had him short, and it turns out he was in, or we had him in, and he turns out it was short. So again, just good communication. Be patient. There's a lot going on, but be patient. And if we need to, we can turn on the gas. We can get in here. We can talk to each other and get the call right. That's the biggest thing we want in this situation, is to make sure we get the call right. All right, final play I want to talk about this week. It's a pretty fun one, and mainly want to talk about it not because of necessarily what happened, but because of what could have happened. And it's just a play you hardly ever see. In this case, we'll let it play. What you're going to see is this punt, basically, bam, straight up the chimney. Comes down, kind of bounces around. Black doesn't touch it. White picks it up. We're behind the neutral zone, and it kind of cuts out there. So let's go back and talk about what we got. Kind of break it down. So first kick doesn't get tipped, nothing to it. Didn't run into him. We got nothing there. I mean, that is straight up and down. That's pretty good right there. He takes a swat at it, but I don't think he hits it. And luckily, he doesn't hit this guy. He doesn't hit this guy in the head either. But let's say he did bat it. Let's say he did swat it, and we determined he touched it. Do we have a foul? Yes, we have a foul. That would be a foul for illegal batting. Now, as far as a kick goes, there's two instances basically where K, and they both would be K would be able to bat the ball, and one of those would be if the ball is grounded beyond the neutral zone. Let's say they kick it, goes. I mean, y'all seen it before. They try to keep it from going to the end zone. They bat it back towards their own goal line. That is a legal bat. The only other one would be for Team K if they batted a ball. Same kind of thing. They hit it in the air, and there wasn't any. Let's say there's not an R player in position to make an opportunity to try and catch the ball. Then they could do the same thing. They could bat that ball in flight back towards their own goal line. But really, those are the only two instances where K, for any reason, could bat this kick. So just know that. Also, you're going to say, well, a low scrimmage kick in flight can be batted. That's not what this is. That's just talking about a lineman getting his hand up at the line or something and swatting at it, stuff like that. So none of that applies here. So yes, that would be an illegal bat. And remember, that changed this year. Illegal batting is not 15 anymore; it's 10 yards. So we'd have you'd want your flag back here at the spot, and we would potentially enforce it depending on how it ends up. But anyway, we'd want a foul here for batting, and we could enforce it there if we needed to. But in this case, it was determined that he didn't touch it, and I think it's right call. So we'll let it play out a little bit more. So goes on. We got R doesn't touch it, but that really doesn't matter because all this touching behind, if we're behind the line of scrimmage or behind the neutral zone, it doesn't mean anything. So even if it touched R behind here and K just dove on it, I know the kicking team would get excited, but it doesn't mean anything because the only reason that K would get the ball back if R touched it is if R touched it beyond the neutral zone. And again, none of that applies here because all this action is behind the neutral zone instead of beyond it. So again, how it kind of ended up as we let it play out, you see right there, K just picks it up. K just picks it up. Can they advance the ball? Yes, they can. In this case, they could pick it up and run it again because if they possess the ball again behind the neutral zone, they can do anything they want with it. They can pick it up within the rules anyway. They can pick it up. They could run for a first down. They could throw a forward pass. They could punt it again if they wanted to. I know it seems odd that anybody would do that, but it's within their right in the rules. But in this case, they just kind of give up. He doesn't drop the ball. He just kind of gives himself up and stops. In this case, the officiating crew does a good job. They just kill it, and basically what you've got is just with no action going on, they kill it. It's fourth down here, you see. So basically, they give the ball to R right here for on a turnover of downs because K did not reach the line to gain. It wasn't because first touching on a scrimmage kick or anything like that. It's just because K did not get the line to gain. So it's a good job here too. You saw the headlinesman went back. That's the mechanic. We got trouble. We try and box it in. He doesn't scoot back there and go too far. He recognizes what's going on. He's not in a hurry to kill it. Doesn't throw a beanbag down, panic anybody, anything like that. The line judge right here does a good job holding the line. So the officiating crew knows this whole time that this ball is live and behind the line of scrimmage. So good job there. And again, we talked about what could have happened. They could have picked it up and ran, done anything they wanted to. But I just wanted to put this play out here. Again, it's kind of unusual. You hardly ever see, especially like this. I mean, that kick just goes straight up in there. So you hardly ever see it. Was on film. Wanted to talk about it for just a little bit. But again, when this happens, good job by the crew. Stay calm, stay collected, and officiate it. Just however it happens, let it play out, and when the dust settles at the end, we can figure it out from there. All right, that's it for this week. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to communicate with your crews before, during, after the game, and above all, please stay safe.